For you to be prosperous and to overcome difficulties in life, there is one fairy tale. There is one unrealistic expectation you truly have to give up. And that is the expectation that people want solutions. Am I saying that nobody wants solutions? No, I didn't say that. I'm saying that the whole idea that people by default want solutions is something we were taught. But is it true? Look at reality around you. Just look at human history. How many problems could have been solved easily, but the masses would not comply? Look, you're not dealing with the masses on a daily basis. I know that. But you're dealing with a portion of the masses. So the portion you're dealing with are those you need to be aware of. And are there people on the earth that want solutions? That really go the extra mile to be at peace and to solve things? Yes, they exist. But don't assume that everyone you encounter wants solutions. That is not true. Why is this important to realize? Because what if you're dealing with someone who pretends, who will fix wanting solutions, but in reality, they're just draining you and taking advantage of your love and your kindness? You think they want solutions because they say it, and from time to time, they act as if they want solutions. And this is what you need to understand. Bad people, because you have bad people on the earth, bad people often pretend as if they want solutions. So from time to time, they'll be kind. From time to time, they look for help. Well, we could say therapy. So from time to time, they do the right thing. And because from time to time, they do the right thing, they think, hey, they're just struggling. They just need some time. But look at, in general, what they're doing throughout the time. You realize that they do nothing to contribute to their own long-term well-being. So if they only look for help from time to time, and they only are admitting things from time to time, that means that most of the time they're not into solutions. Most of the time they're inconsistent. Inconsistent in the sense that they operate against their own long-term well-being. If someone most of the time is operating against their own long-term well-being, that means they're not a stable nor safe individual to be around. Simple as that. But sometimes we have this, we have this naive positive view of people based on their occasional performance. Look, if someone is realistic, if someone is optimistic, I'm talking about practical optimism, not blind optimism. If someone's realistic and optimistic, it will reveal all the time. Even when they make errors, you see that they're always willing to admit things and when they were wrong, or admit when they could have been better, and they're willing to improve. If someone only shows willingness to improve when they hit rock bottom, or when they're confronted and there's no way for them to give an excuse, then I'm telling you, you're dealing with someone who just wants to escape. And remember what I told you on this channel. When someone insists on escaping, they want a fairy tale. And I warned you already, when people insist on a fairy tale, let them have it. I'm not telling you to endorse a fairy tale. I'm not telling you to support it and to condone it. I'm telling you to let them have it. Slowly limit contact and remove yourself from such an individual. Why? Because they've already made up their mind that when it comes down to it, they want escapes more than they want their own long-term well-being. They put their escapes above having healthy nutrients, above having healthy relationships, above having peace of mind, above being safe. Escapes are all they have on their mind. So they have an unreal attitude towards reality. You can't get away with an unreal attitude in life. It will always backfire, and that's an enormous dysfunction that will bring forth problems. So if someone insists on a fairy tale, they've already dedicated themselves to protect the unreal at the expense of the real. What is the real? Their own long-term well-being as well as your long-term well-being. So they already have the mindset that they will, to preserve their escape, sacrifice any real thing, which includes you. Why does it make you comfortable to be deeply involved or involved at all with someone who insists on preserving the unreal at the expense of the real? But too often, we are so blinded by the occasional performance of people. Look, I'm not saying someone cannot be dysfunctional and they need help. If someone is dysfunctional and they need help, well, so be it. They need help. They're dysfunctional. There are issues. I'm not saying that just because there are issues, they're bad people. No. But if you don't notice any willingness throughout time that they want to improve, they want to be better, and they're willing to learn, then I'm telling you, you're dealing with a long-term liability. So admit that some people are just long-term liabilities. The moment you realize this, the safer you will be. Too many people with quality and good intentions end up wasted and destroyed and ruined because they do the best things for the wrong people. Doing the best things for the wrong people will cost you. Christ told us, do not cast your pearls before swine. How do you recognize when someone is considered a swine? You have to look at the context. Don't just look at the behavior occasionally. Don't just even look at the behavior. Look at the context of this individual. We need to learn to examine people instead of comparing people. Too often we compare people. And if the comparison is according to what we expect, we like them. If the comparison is not in harmony with what we expect, we dislike them. We need to let go of this like and dislike attitude, which is based on attachment. Attachment has a place in daily life, but you shouldn't base your whole life on attachment. And that's what a lot of people do. I'm not saying comparing people in itself doesn't have a place. It has a place in certain contexts, in certain occasions. But too many people base their whole life on comparing attachments. Stop doing that. Examine what it is you're dealing with and act accordingly. And when you realize that the situation is getting dark, just leave the situation. Is that fleeing? Is that escaping? No. Escaping is when you don't want to face something. Escaping is when you just want to be left alone. Escaping is when you don't want to be bothered. Being realistic means you admit that there are bad things around you. You also admit that not everything in life is bad. But you realize you need to process the bad things and act accordingly. When a situation is getting dark, just leave the situation. Once you're out of the situation cannot harm you anymore. Some people stay in bad situations because they think, I need to do the right thing. Well, doing the right thing also has a place in daily life. But you have to learn to do what is best. Do what's best for you. And by doing what's best for you, you will also be doing what's best for other people. Neglecting yourself is not benefiting anyone else. Listen. Learn to examine what you're dealing with. And stop ignoring your intuition, please. Well, that's it for now. Keep on growing with Christ. And remember, Christ does not bring confusion. Christ does not tell you to harm yourself in the long run just so that the masses have it easy. Christ never does that. Christ became a sacrifice on our behalf. That's what he did for us. But we are not Christ. We follow him, but we're not him. So, keep your eyes open. Be at peace.